Today, we're going to be talking about Season of Plunder as a review-ish. Um, I apologize in advance, my voice is a little weird, I don't know what's going on, but we will get through it. And first things first, this intro to Catch Crash is one of my favorite things of the season. I think they need to have something like this for every season activity, because it's just a fun little thing, it changes it up. But I've heard a lot of talk about Season of Plunder and how bad it is, blah blah blah, and I do not think it was as bad as everybody feels it was. Okay? First, we'll go one thing at a time here. And I'm doing this off of my memory. I don't have a script, so this is truly what I remember from the season. So, that I felt like that was a good indicator of how memorable or good a season was. But obviously, Catch Crash. Catch Crash was probably my favorite thing to do this season. I thought it was a very fun activity. The theme was pretty cool. It was decently well designed, in my opinion. And yeah, I thought it was overall a good activity. Obviously, any activity that we have to farm over and over is just gonna get stale. So, it got stale for me too after a while. But it's still a good activity, in my opinion. It has good enemy density, you get it. Expeditions, though, I hate those things. Expeditions were my least favorite thing to do. I hated having to do any of them. I'm pretty sure I hated it ever since the second time I did one. I don't know what it is, something about the whole throwing the engrams in the thing to progress it. Oh, it's just so boring to me. I really don't know why that triggered me so much, but I hate it. And of course, the whole debacle with the ruffian farming made that way worse. And I probably made people hate it more than it deserved, but that's my take on it. I hated it. I don't know. It was a big chore to do. Hated doing that. The seasonal vendor, the little vendor at the helm, the same thing as every season now. Just a grid with upgrades to unlock. I honestly don't even remember what it used to be before this, because how so many seasons have been like that. I literally don't remember what else there was. This is all like I remember. It's like it's the only thing that's ever been. It's upgrade grids on your vendor, and you have to unlock everything if you want the title. Very lame, very boring, but I guess it's just, an aspect of a grind for the title. Because if you don't care for the title, there's no point in unlocking the vendor upgrades, right? I can be wrong, but right now I can't think of a single reason why you would want to unlock everything if you're not going for the title. So, I guess it's my own fault for caring about getting the title for the season that I paid for. Regardless, it's still boring. It was still boring. Same thing as always. It's just, to add grind to the title, basically. Now, I want to talk about the story of the season. I was very stoked about the season, because I love pirate-themed things. I loved Grasp of Avarice. It had that pirate feel to it. And I enjoyed the pirate element of the story. But the story this season was very... what's the right word? I guess weird? Disconnected? Perhaps all over the place would be a good way to put it. I don't know, it was just... you're collecting these... Okay, actually, first of all, Aramis is back, which is fine. She's trying to collect these things. Okay, great. We should collect them first so she doesn't have them. And then we find out those things were actually pieces of Nazareth, a disciple of the witness. Okay? Big deal. That was very exciting. Great, twist to the story. Great, whatever. And, even the way we were acquiring the relics were fine. I was fine doing the recycled lost sectors. It was totally fine for me. But like every week we got a relic and then found out it was Nazareth. And then at the end, spoiler warning if you still don't know the ending, Mithrax turns the pieces of Nazareth into some darkness tea that then Osiris, I guess, inhales from the cutscene. He doesn't even drink it. Inhales and wakes up. Why? Why was that the way that it went? Why was it all in a cutscene? Why was it... I don't know. Why was it not... I don't know. Why were we not included in... I don't know. Like... I can't even express what I'm trying to say here. Why was it done that way, is my question. I thought that was a terrible way of ending the season. The story itself was fine, but then it ended with that. And of course the whole romance Osiris and Saint. That was like fine, I guess. Ido, trying to get Aramis to like see, trying to join the Elixir. That was on brand for Ido. Like, she was fine, I guess. But then Mithrax ends up fighting Aramis towards the end, and Aramis just runs away. No idea where she went, nothing about it. I guess she's gonna come back, either next season or during Lightfall. Again, we don't know where that goes. Who knows? So now, we're left wondering, okay, the Traveler's supposed to be infected according to the prophecy from Vox Obscura. How is that going to happen if the pieces of Nazareth have now been inhaled by Osiris? Is that still going to happen? Like, it would have made so much more sense for us to just have the relics. Mithrax is trying to experiment with them to try to test what they can do with it. And boom, something goes wrong. I don't know, darkness spreads everywhere. Bada bing, bada boom, Traveler's infected. Also, sick clip of me running right into those trap mines right here. But you know what I mean? It was a very weird way to end it. It was a weird way to handle this, the story. I don't know. The story was fine, but it could have been done better. I think there could have been better ways of, ending it, progressing the story. Essentially, it could have been done better, but the story was fine in my opinion. It was okay. Just the execution of the story, that should have been better. I know my list here of topics is also all over the place, which is fitting for this season, I guess. But now, weapons. The weapons, I think, were incredible. Volt Shot is an incredible perk. Amazing. I wish, Void had a... I talked about this in another video, but I wish Void had a perk that was as good as Incandescent or Volt Shot. Repulsor Brace is fine, but, it doesn't give me volatile rounds, which is the equivalent. Whatever. The weapons were great. Tarnished Metal, awesome Scout Rifle. Brigand's Law, awesome sidearm. What were the other weapons? I only used those two, honestly. But I thought overall the weapons were good. I guess, you know, not all of them were great, but overall they were good weapons. The design of them was awesome. They looked incredible. Um, and I think that's about it. Yeah, they're great weapons, craftable, you know. Arc 3.0 was, I think, was very good. But I think the fact that we got Arc 3.0 made the season a little bit better than it would have been. And that's true for all the seasons that have had light subclasses 3.0 come out. The hype of the subclass kind of masked the merit of the season by itself, which is okay. It just means that now that those reworks are done, the seasons have to kind of pick up the pace a little bit, to fill that void. But yeah, Arc 3.0 I thought was great. Titans are probably a little bit overpowered in my opinion, but that's okay. It's fine. It works. And lastly, but definitely not least, I am here to tell you that this season was definitely not the worst season ever, as I've heard people say. It was even more definitely, if that's a thing, it was not worse than Season of the Hunt or Season of the Undying. Can you even tell me what Season of the Undying was about? Because I cannot. The weapons, I remember, were garbage. They just had grass on them. And yes, that's about it. That's all I remember from that season. Season of the Hunt, I remember being completely boring. Just a snooze fest all around. So this season was definitely better than those two at the very least. If you watched all the way through, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Let's hope next season is a banger. I'll see you next season, hopefully with some exciting stuff going on.